For the fourth week in a row, our Washington Commanders are victorious, and we are now sitting pretty at 4-1 for the first time since 2008. Talk to us nicely. It is Victory Monday. What it do, Washington Commanders Nation? I got my boy Kenny G with me on today, and I'm not talking about the guy who plays an instrument. How we doing today, family?
All is well, King. All is well. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be a part of the Washington family and here to present. Thank you for bringing me on to the show.
Absolutely, man. You were at that game yesterday. Northwest, you could see it on TV. You can hear it. It was rocking. It felt like a real home field advantage. Give me the atmosphere live from the stadium yesterday.
When's the last time you seen a wave in our stadium? We did it three times.
Woo.
3 times back to back to back, and it got stronger every wave. I said, we really doing this. Like, we really did it. We were in the moment. It was something to seize. Dude, we sat our starters in the fourth quarter.
Oh, my God.
Like, what? Like, what? At home. It was like it was meant to be. Like, we're back. This is here. You know, Dan Quinn said, you know what? We're gonna sit the starters. We're gonna sit the starters, you know.
It felt nice. And it was like, everybody with all the trauma and PTSD, we're like football fans. We're the strongest soldiers in football fandom because we've been through so much over these last 25 years. Seeing starters get pulled. Yep, shout out to them. Seeing starters get pulled with a quarter left. How were y'all talking at the stadium when that happened?
Bro, so at first, I think everyone, especially in my section, they just thought it was JD. And I was the one who noticed it. I said, no, it's not just JD. I said, it ain't just Mariota out there. I said, Bryson Tremaine is out there. I said, Terry sat. Diami sat. Even Olamide Zacchaeus is sat. I said, everybody sat. I was like, man, I said, look, all our skill positions are sat. I said, we're just giving this run to our third stringers. And I said, it was just beautiful to see. Beautiful just to be in that position. Personally, I wanted to run up the score on them, but it's okay.
Too. I know. That was my favorite part about the game. Like, instead of crashing out and civil war infighting with our own fans about who the starting quarterback should be, or why we keep losing, or how we keep finding new ways to lose game, we're arguing about dumb shit like, should we have scored 50 instead of 34? Should we have done this instead of that? It feels phenomenal, man. What was the fan split at the game like, Browns fans to Washington fans?
90-10. 90-10. For sure. They was bare. I mean, you know, Browns travel well. They do. They have a historic fan base, legendary, just like ours, you know. But at the end of the day, I was really surprised to see. Honestly, I wasn't, because from training camp on, we knew that this would happen. All we needed to do was win some games. So coming in 3-1, I knew damn well we were gonna have an amazing turnout by our fan base. And dude, did we? It was an amazing turnout.
They were loud. Deshaun Watson had his hands over his helmet the whole game because he couldn't see, and you can tell we had him rattled off the very get-go. Mikey Sanders still had him pushing him. We were in Deshaun Watson's head immediately during that. But before we get into the particulars about the game in general, man, what time did you get out to the stadium yesterday? What time did you leave the stadium? Give me your full day at Northwest Stadium yesterday.
Man, I got to the stadium around 10 a.m. Normally I get there at 9, but I got there at 10. I was a little late, but we actually stayed, man. We stayed. I didn't end up leaving the stadium till the police had came and forced us to leave.
Oh, were they on horses?
Nah, they weren't on the horses. It's a funny scenario. They came in. He came over. We started playing our music louder because one of the girls was, she was actually shaking her ass in front of the police officer. Because we was lit, man. I'm telling you, we was having a good old time. So she was having a good old time showing off from the police officer. Police officer got upset. You could tell maybe he was a husband that ain't want to have that, and he turned on his lights so loud. I mean, turned on his the cop sound so loud, it got us up out of there. But at the end of the day, bro, it was an amazing time. Like I said, we tailgated, had an amazing time, went into the stadium. great atmosphere. Obviously, we whooped them the whole time, so the atmosphere was great. And then coming out the post game, dude, nobody wanted to leave, man. Everyone stayed out in the parking lot. It was like tailgate part two. It's very rare because typically when we have our typically in the last few years that we've been going out to our home games, sometimes after the game isn't so pleasant.
It's depressing as hell. You got to take that long ass drive back. It take you 45 to an hour just to exit the stadium. You put on the post game show and it's just somber. It's sorrow. It's misery all the way back home, bro. Misery walks from that stadium. But new stadium, new team name, new stadium name, new everything. And we don't want to hear shit like this the Reaper person talking about in the chat. Y'all ain't played nobody. Why don't you put a picture of yourself as your profile picture? Stop hiding behind anime, first of all. Second of all, if your team got more than one loss, I can't hear you right now. I can't hear you. I don't see you. I'm Stevie Wonder to the bullshit. We're 4-1 with a rookie quarterback. The first rookie quarterback to ever lead a team to 150 points in the first 5 weeks. You got your black Jayden jersey.
I told you I had a surprise for you, man. That's it.
Okay. You got that shit. When'd you get it? Yesterday or when they dropped on the other day?
I got it when they dropped, man. I got it when they dropped.
That boy went right to the stadium, didn't he?
No game. No games. Hey, shout out to my brother right there in the chat, Jerry Greg Ganther, man. He was actually one of the reasons why I got the jersey.
Hey, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. We're lit. We're 4-1 for the first time in 16 years. You think I give a damn about what a hater talking about right now? We have a rookie general manager, a rookie coach, 25 new players, 13 new starters, and we won 4 games last year. So for you dimwits talking about we ain't played nobody, you get a last place schedule when you finish in last place. We were the second worst team in the league last year. We've already matched our win total from a year ago. But before we get into the real specifics about what happened yesterday, give me your fan story. What got you rooting and what got you a part of this burgundy and gold sickness?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. It was I was my dad. Let's just talk about from childhood. It's been in me. I love football. So I played football since the age of 5. But the Redskins always been through and through. It's something that has always been a loyalty thing for me. It's probably been the biggest thing I've been probably the thing I've been loyal to most of my life, in my entire life, is the Washington Redskins. So considering the fact that how I grew up, it was something that's just been innate. You root for your home team. It's not just Skins; it's all DC sports. That's just what it is. It's my home team. So I even got it tatted. You know what I'm saying? I got all the teams tatted on the back of my arm.
Love, that's fandom. That's fandom right there.
Yeah, when I was 18, I did that. It was my first tattoo. So with that being said, man, it's been something that has always stuck with me, and it just will never leave. It's something that you just, it's just in your blood. Burgundy and gold is in your blood, baby.
It's a sickness, man. We've been through a lot here, bro. I know how myself, I created a platform, it's kind of like therapy sometimes because we've been through so much here. I've been a content creator for 3 years. I ain't talked about one Commanders football team or Redskins playoff game in the last 3 years. I want to talk about the playoff. We've been through so much here. What has helped you stay strong and to keep fighting and seeing that better days are on the way?
It hasn't been Dan Snyder, I promise you that. Man, I almost quit. That's a whole nother. I really almost quit. No, for real. Until I found out we were going to sell him. So 2021, I almost ran about it. But no, but sincerely, man, Rio, can you repeat the part of that question? My bad.
Oh no. What kept you rooting for this team? Because it gets hard. Bro, we weren't even able to be ass in peace. Like, we're losing and we're the topic of the headline. There's an allegation every week. The DEA is raiding the premises. We got sexual misconduct. We got abuse in the workplace. Oh my God, it's been so fucking embarrassing over the years. How'd you stay strong, brother?
It definitely has been embarrassing, no question. How I stay strong is just like, as I can say, probably more than anything, it's just that loyalty and that bond to the fan base. Like, you build lifelong friendships, through this fandom,
Absolutely.
A lot of friendships and family bonds that you're able to build through this fandom. Hell so, yeah. Most of that has like truly kept not only me connected, but just my brothers, that I'm connected to through this bond. It's been something that has absolutely, stuck with me. So I think more than anything, as I said, it's just more so just being a part, make sure you're a part of something. You know what I'm saying? When you had that feeling of brotherhood, and that's something that I know this fan base has, and it's something that's historic. It stuck with me forever. I mean, like I said, since I was a child, like this is something that's always stuck with me. My father was the biggest freaking Redskin fan, so it's
Hey,
just something that I
my big.
always just love, bro. It's through and through, man. I bleed this shit.
And that is why we're able to talk our shit right now. That's why we're able to bask in the ambience of new beginnings. Josh Harris takes over as owner. When you buy a business, you got to evaluate it for a year. So he didn't come through handing out pink slips and telling everybody to leave last year. He watched a year of bullshit. He knows exactly what he doesn't want in the building. And we're already coming out the gate swinging in his first year of putting real fingerprints on the franchise. 34-13 yesterday, and we didn't even play our best ball, bro. Talk to me about all your takeaways from this game yesterday.
Bro, this game was absolutely a joy. Like it was absolutely a joy. I went with a Cowboys. Well, Cowboys fan decided to join me. We went with a
Okay.
large group, talk some big shit the entire time. But
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, man, the being there, seeing the atmosphere, seeing Cliff dial it up, Joe Witt getting into his bag, simplifying the defense, it shows on the field. The guys are just flying around. All aspects of the game, special teams, offense, defense, everybody's putting it together. Everybody's saying the right things. They're doing the right things on and off the field. I feel like I'm like, when the fuck am I gonna wake up? Every day I
Right.
wake up, I'm like, really, this is really like what it feels like to be a fan of an actual franchise that's not owned by fucking Dan Snyder. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you, Josh Harris. Thank you, Adam Peters. Thank you, Dan Quinn, for putting together such an amazing organization and just allowing us fans just to come to the game and truly enjoy it. Even if we win or lose, I know that I can walk away as a fan and say we left it all out on the field. And that's all we want. That's all we ask for. It's all we can ask for.
It's
Without
all
the
we can.
allegations.
It's all we can ask for because we've been through so much here, and I can see the trauma and the PTSD that are holding some fans from being excited right now because they're like, okay, but we did all this on the road the last couple weeks. We always have a letdown game. We lay an egg at home. We always get our capital. We always capitalize on being underdogs on the road. Washington never puts out a home display for fans. And then look at yesterday. 34-6 in the third quarter. We're pulling starters out. Let's talk about JD5. You got the jersey on right now.
Yes,
They
sir.
probably
Yes,
they
sir.
probably are already out of the black jerseys in the
They
team
out.
store right
They
now.
was out. They were out.
Already sold out. They just put them on the shelf on Friday, gone by Sunday. You love to hear that. Another Jayden Daniels game. 320 yards of total offense, a touchdown. Should have been two because Terry dropped one. Shit, it should have been three because Terry should have high stepped on the deep ball and
If
got
it was
his ass in the end
it
zone.
would be different.
Hell yeah, the body catch bandit. I call him the body catch bandit. But another Jayden Daniels day, 82 yards on the ground, 238 through the air. Another beautiful deep ball, two of them. One to De'Ami Brown, which I called in the pregame. I manifested it on Instagram, on X, and on my pregame show. Talk to
Yeah.
me about Jayden Daniels and what you're seeing from our rookie leader.
Brother, first of all, when you talked about Diami the day before, and you said this was his one game, just like how he had last year with Tennessee, okay? Just how he has his one break, like Diami was due for it. We already knew that one of our receivers wasn't going to be playing Noah Brown. So it was like, okay, it's next up. Soon as he scored, I texted you immediately, and I said, look at Diami scored, bro. I said, look, you called it. I was like, no, this is silly, bro. Like, and I want to take us back because when you were talking earlier, you kept saying what we did before. Okay, like
Mhm.
meaning we always lose at home. We're due for what we done, what we did before, our past. Okay, what we're known for in the past. I have to remind our fan base, okay, that we truly need like therapy when it comes down to, no, sincerely, because we have to understand that. I know the PTSD has been following us, but I've been a main advocate ever since I went to the first training camp to say, this is different, guys. Like, this is a different team, and we have to learn and accept that. Like, there's nobody that is associated with the old organization that's pulling any strings
None.
right now. So when we understand that and we come to hearts hey fans, let's understand who we are. Like, we're truly fucking 4-1 for a reason. This is not a situation where you could be like, oh no, it's fluke. No, it's real. We are a good team, and we have to understand that we have great people running our organization. And hey, I came into this season with low expectations. I think most of us did. But once we understand that, hey, you see the product we putting out on the field, what we just did at home, the way we beat that, bro. What? Jayden Daniels looked amazing. I was so proud to wear this jersey yesterday at the game. I was so proud because I was like, look at my quarterback. Look at my beautiful black quarterback.
I'm almost like excited and like happy to see him make mistakes early in the game, because it shows he's human and it keeps us grounded as fans, because there's no such thing as a perfect quarterback. Patrick Mahomes has 5 picks in 4 games. It happens. But a real franchise quarterback is not centered around the mistakes he makes. It's how he bounces back from them, how unfazed he is by those mistakes. He's going to miss throws. We're so traumatized here. He throws it in completion, and fans are like, oh my God, he has to hit that throw. Nobody hits every throw. He isn't even what he's going to be a couple years from now. He isn't even the quarterback he's going to be in December yet, in January. This is the first 5 games, infancy stage of Jayden Daniels. We're talking about a guy in MVP discussions 5 weeks into the season. CJ Stroud hadn't ascended to this stratosphere through 5 weeks of the season. 1,400 yards of offense so far, 8 total touchdown, 4 on the ground, 4 through the air, only 2 turnovers on top of that. And you think I care about what a Cowboys, Eagle, or Giant fan has to say about that? We can't hear you. We're in first place right now. And I watched y'all play against the Steelers last night. Y'all don't put any fear into my bones. And you know nobody wins this division in back-to-back years. Talk to me about Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Witt. We actually got coaches that can coach now, right?
Facts, man. You want to talk about our coaching staff? Our coaching staff, I think, deserves so much credit, man. That what they've done with this team and the way they've molded our players and how they bring in the most out of players that we think we'll never get the most out of. Like the way that, OG Bobby Johnson is coaching up that offensive line. Dude, we may have 3 Pro Bowlers on our offensive line. Fuck around. Like, we continue on this path. I'm telling you, like, it's sincere in terms of the way that this entire staff is coaching everybody up. Daryl Tapp with the D line. Dude, did you see Mathis yesterday?
He balled out for Darian Matt. I said, oh, we acting different now.
What? Did you see him throw 70? I don't know who the guard or the center was, but the way he put him on his ass, I said, dang. And he swatted made a play. He didn't just create pressure. He had a bat down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn. Like, everybody's just getting coached up all across. Everybody's ascending. You could just see it. Special teams too. Man, I'm watching it. I'm watching just from afar, and I'm looking at the team. 57. I forgot what we brought him in. What was his? I forgot his name. I'm usually good with all of our players' names, but he was our late signing, former Pro Bowler.
Nick Ballore, the special teams guy.
Yes, beast, bro. He made 3 plays on special teams back to back, and I was like, yo, dude's out here balling. I was like, these under the radar signings that we made. All these under the radar signings. Everyone was like, oh, we didn't do too much in the offseason. Bro, we did just enough. We're building, and we're truly building here, man. Like, the way our coaching staff is putting these guys together, got them playing, high in terms of high expectations of what I expected for our team. I thought we were going to be a 7-9, 10 win team at max. I'm thinking 10 wins looking like the minimum to me.
Anything is possible. That's why I don't want to hear what the Reaper, shout out to Ryan Esposito, I don't want to hear what they talking about right now. It ain't too early to be excited. This team was predicted to win 5 games. Las Vegas had us at a 5.5 win total for the year. We won 4 games last year, meaning you get a last place schedule. We have new everything with a rookie quarterback and a rookie GM. We should be talking our shit right now. We should be outside wearing our shit with pride because we are the hottest team in football. We are the story. We are the moment through the first 5 weeks of the season. I'm not trying to hear all that calm down bullshit. You don't act like you've been there before when you haven't been there before. I turned 33 next week. This is our first 4-1 start since I was 17 years old. But we supposed to calm down. Fuck that.
We're the same age, Rio. I feel you. Come on now.
Fuck that shit. Let's go. Fuck that tempering excitement. Fuck that. Let's see how we play the Ravens. Fuck all of that shit. I'm not trying to hear it. Because we were picked to be ass. We've been picked to lose in 4 of the 5 games we've played so far. The Cardinals, who we beat by 28 points last week, beat the fucking Niners yesterday. The Giants, who we beat in week 2, they beat the 3-1 Seahawks. The Bengals, who we beat on Monday Night Football, they should have won in overtime versus the team we played next week, the Ravens. The Ravens lost to the fucking Raiders. What are we talking about? Everybody's allowed to celebrate their successes versus us. And to that, I say fuck out of here to every single one of y'all. We talking our shit over here, bruh.
Let's go.
Let's go. Bro. How hype are you, bro? This is the most hype you've been since when?
Since ever. Since I was ever. Since RG3, of course. You know what I'm saying? We all, 2012 was our year. But dude, it's 12 years ago. And prior to that was when? Fuck it, like what? Like this the little spurts of greatness that we saw with not even greatness, of mediocrity with Jay Gruden and Mike Shanahan. Like we had some mediocrity seasons in the 2012 season, but we really haven't had anything that we could say, like, dude, we made the fucking playoffs at 7-9-1 or 7-8-1.
7-8-1, some bullshit. We always back into the playoff. We never are good in September. I've never in my life seen a season where we were good from beginning to end of season. Never seen it.
And that's where I'm like, yo, guys, like the where we are right now as a franchise, this is something to truly hang our hat on. And we can say, hey, like we have a fucking team like never before, and we haven't scratched the surface. Nope. We are nowhere near as far. Like we could have had 40 plus points in 3 quarters on them yesterday.
We left it on the board.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? And the way we adjusted quickly, because they were getting to JD. They got him early. They sacked him early, rattled him up. But Jay, he's so poised. You know what I'm saying? He's just calm. He's just who he is. He's smiling through it all. Next drive, I'm gonna go back. I remember what I did in my VR studies. You know what I'm saying? I remember what they did. I remember that coverage. So you know what I'm saying? JD got something for him. You can't stop him. I mean, dude, the way Dan Orlowski talked about yesterday, he said we have our form of Lamar Jackson. Okay, but in my mind, it's like, hey, I think he's better.
And I think we need to stop comparing. He's not like any of these guys.
He's not like nobody.
He's the first Jayden Daniels.
Thank you. He's himself. Stop doing the compare and contrast. He's fucking Jayden Daniels. 5 games into the season, if you don't see that now, I don't know. You take my glasses.
Or mine. Even I need them. Take them. This shit feels good, man. And I keep harping on, this is not the good version of us yet. We still have holes galore on the roster. We don't have a cornerback 1 on the roster. We need playmakers. We have 1 receiver that's a household name and a bunch of we will see. Shout out to Luke McCaffrey. Shout out to Lamade Zakia. Shout out to De'Ami Brown. Shout out to Noah Brown. But we're out there thriving. We are the only team in the league that scored 150 points so far. But this is fluke. I see bad teams play good teams every week, and I don't see them doing what we're doing right now. You know what good teams are supposed to do to bad teams? They're supposed to handle them. They're supposed to not play with their food. They're supposed to bury them in the dirt. We bury the Cleveland Browns season. They are dead and stinking. They are 12 feet underground, and the career of Deshaun Watson is getting closer to over. He doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. Joe Witt's defense held them boys to 13 points. For real was 6. They got a little garbage time touchdown at the end. 7 sacks. How does it feel to have linebackers, bro?
Great, bro. Great, man. To have actual linebackers outside of David Mayo.
Mm-hmm. John Bostic.
John Bostic
Mason
of the world.
Foster.
like they were trying to make us believe that they were the answer, and that was the sad part. I'm like, dude, you can't finesse me into believing David Mayo's our answer at linebacker, bro. So Ron Rivera, linebacker of all linebackers, we thought that we were gonna get some linebackers. The fact that we had Ron Rivera as our coach, but that didn't happen. So the fact that we actually have linebackers on our team currently, dude, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louisville are balling. I'm talking about flying around. Louisville, the way he's playing, bro. Like, I think he should be defensive player of the week. Okay.
Oh, he better. He
deserves that honor.
Mm-hmm.
Forced fumble, 2.5 sacks, 7 tackles, 3 pressures. He's balling, bro. Like I was looking at it, I was like, yo, Louisville's balling out there, bro. And just in general, man, like Jamin Davis, I know he hasn't had his flash plays yet, but I was watching him in the trenches. He's not making mistakes, and he did make a couple plays. I think he had 1 tackle for loss, okay? Mm-hmm. And he's in position. He's rotating in. He's not out there 70-80% of the plays. They already know how they're bringing everybody out. They're keeping everybody fresh, okay? That's one thing I love about Joe Witt and DQ, how he just keeps everybody fresh on defense. Man, you could go on a lot. I really want to go into Forbes. I want to go into a lot of things. He had 4 snaps yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I know we were talking about linebackers, but did you see the way the defensive backs played when Emmanuel Forbes wasn't on the field?
Yeah, they was out there. They had the receivers in a seatbelt for the entirety of the game, and that comes down to coaching. Coaching matters.
Very much so. And as you know, I work at Rose, and when his name shows up on the sheet each and every week, even when he was hurt, I was like, bro, we can't be outside. Like, you're not even John Wall yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even gotten to that stardom. You can't be outside every single weekend, and then it shows. It truly shows.
This shit feels good, man. I'm looking at Frankie Louisville and Wagner at linebacker. We've come a long way, bro. Our last head coach and defensive coordinator, they were actually linebackers in the NFL and refused to ever upgrade at the position. That shit used to drive me crazy on a weekly basis. Frankie Louisville is the best player of the defense, and he just got here. He's the best player. He's the heartbeat, and he's now the vocal leader. He has taken over the hype speeches from Jonathan Allen. And boy, do I love that shit. When he hits you, where my dogs at? He's doing haka. He's got the ball. Let me get 2 claps on the Ric Flair. Oh my God. That shit is beautiful.
Everybody hype. Everyone.
He plays like the Tasmanian devil. Like, if you follow this channel, I always say I like my linebackers with a screw loose up top. I like them to not have much sense. I like them to have a little bit of early sign CTE. I call Louisville the CTE missile. I'm unhinged over there, but
I know.
Seeing linebackers come downhill, Joe Witt Jr. pulling out 2 linebacker blitzes. I was like, holy shit, who are we today? Who are we? We are the Commanders, and this is not the same Washington as years prior. We have ownership that cares on and off the field. We have a front office that knows what the fuck we're doing. Our GM and our assistant GM. Do not forget about Lance Newmar, the guy who helped construct the Detroit Lions that we're now watching, who are an absolute problem. Our GM and our assistant GM are the best executives that have sat in that building in the last 25 years. And even in year 1, they've constructed a roster that got right to the business, and have got to a 4-1 start. Don't let that defense consistently start playing like this, because if the defense can reciprocate the offense's the offense's a success, who's stopping us? Kenny?
Nobody. At the end of the day, dude, have you seen the Cowboys schedule?
Oh my God, it's brutal.
Like
that bitch in my. That's how serious that Joan is, and the way they look Pittsburgh last night. Whoo!
Who I was like, yo, and then they play us at the end of, I think it's like a 6-game stretch. And
Oh
then they
yeah.
play,
This is the Cowboy stretch. I see Cowboy fans in the chat. We're not looking at y'all because by the time we see y'all on the schedule, y'all might not be in the playoff
I mean,
picture.
the playoffs when we play off.
Justin Fields is a running back playing quarterback, and y'all had to beat them on the final play of the game. Y'all took care of your business, but the Steelers can't play offense, bro. So if you make
At
the
all.
game ugly, you got Dallas. They got Detroit next week. They got
Yep.
a bye. They got the Niners. They got
Yep.
the Falcons. They got the Eagles. They got the Texans, and they got us 4 days before Thanksgiving. And
Come
then 4 days later, they got the Giants on Thanksgiving that should have beat them. The Giants should have beat them. If Daniel Jones can throw a deep ball, they win that game versus Dallas easy.
Easily, bro. And that's the reason why I do a compare and contrast. It's not even okay. I mean, we don't know who. I mean, okay, we have one of the best, most advantageous schedules because we had the 4th pick in the draft last year, right? Last place in the division, etc. Okay, now Dallas, of course, has a hard schedule, but the fact of the matter is, with our schedule and advantage that we have, and the fact that we could just get so far ahead in our division in terms of the games, and dude, we're 4-1 right now, number 2 in the NFC. Like I'm just looking at just what we have ahead and how easy, I won't say easy, but our schedule is pretty easy in a sense.
On paper.
On paper's in comparison to the rest of the NFC, especially Dallas and the Eagles. But I just don't know. I don't think Giants aren't a threat. I don't think the Eagles with Nick Sirianni and the type of dysfunction they have with Jalen Hurts and the offensive side of the ball, they're just not on the same page. Dallas is Dallas. Jerry Jones coming in a fucking practice on his helicopter, calling his players saying he got an 8.5-inch dick. Like, okay, it's like, come on now. It's just Dallas is going to be Dallas. We're a new organization. We have everything is new for us. So the fact of the matter is, everyone's doing the same old, but we're not. Okay, we're not singing the same show. We have a whole new tune. Okay, right now with our team. So the way we coming through and the way we wrecking shit, I just feel like it's our time. It's our season. Like, I don't see why not us. Why not us? Okay.
Why not Washington? Words of the not so great Eric Bieniemy, who is struggling in UCLA right now, but that's a conversation for another day. Why not Washington, baby? This is not your typical rinse Washington repeat. This is a new ball club, and I'm not trying to compare schedules and make that simple juxtaposition between us and our divisional rivals, but all I'm saying is to go 10-7, double-digit wins. Washington just needs to go 6-6 through their final 12. 6-6 through their final 12 games. No schedule is easy in this league, like Danny Scooby said. That is a fact. Everybody's football players. Let me put that on the screen, then we're going to get to the super. Everybody's a football player. Every game is win or loss, and NFL has some of the highest parity that exists in the entire sports spectrum. So, yes, nobody's schedule is easy, but I'm looking at the Commanders' schedule. Baltimore is the hardest remaining team on the list. That's the best team we have left to play. After that, we come back home for the Carolina Panthers for Darryl Green's retirement party. Then we get the number 1 versus the number 2 the next week. Caleb Williams comes back to D.C., Gonzaga's own. After that game, we get New York for the second time at MetLife Stadium. It's going to be a brawl, but I got us sweeping them Bamas. And I'm looking at the schedule. There is an not easy. I'm not going to say nothing's easy in the NFL. The path to 6 wins is clear. Split with Dallas and Philly, that's 2. Sweep the Giants, that's 3. Tennessee, Chicago, Carolina. That's 6 right there, and there are still other winnable games. New Orleans is a winnable game. Atlanta is a winnable game. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as good as that defense is, that is a winnable game because they have an anemic offense, and their quarterback cannot keep up with the high-powered offense we run with Jayden Daniels. Appreciate you, Greg, Jerry Ganther. That's your peoples, by the way. $4.99 tailgate party at Gold Lot D against the Panthers. Bring a bottle, pre- and post-game vibes here with DJ Marvelous.
Y'all heard him. We do. That's what we do.
Go ahead and screenshot it. You know, Kenny, that's the party guy. You can let people know. You know where you be at. Let them know where you be at, my guy.
Hey, listen, they know I'm at Rose Bar. You know, Friday
Yes, sir.
days that's home base, but I also do all different kind of events. You can follow me on the gram. I do tons of events, you know, from all different kinds. But with that being said, we do a tailgate party. Okay, go La D. That's our party. We started doing it last year, week in and week out. But starting this year with our new regime, we're there every single week. We're supporting. We in there deep, burgundy and gold, baby.
Hell yeah, man. Y'all heard him. Tailgate party, Gold Lot D. If you ever need to get in there, this is the guy you want to talk to for Rose Bar. That's where all the baddies are at, by the way. I know Rose Bar, they got to have a John Wall jersey in the rafters hanging in that motherfucker, right?
We got one upstairs in the office.
Yeah, that shit got to be hanging from the rafters because that boy used to do numbers at Rose Bar, and that is where some of the finest women in the DMV, you can find them on the weekend. But still talking about it going forward, I don't want to get too much into the Ravens game next week, but we're 5 games into the season. They're putting our rookie quarterback at MVP conversations. They're already trying to flex us into prime time.
Luckily on the rights.
Oh my God, man. Doesn't that shit feel good?
Luckily, they own the rights. Okay, CBS didn't own the rights to that shit. We'll be in prime time because soon as we knew that about 3 weeks ago. We were like, hey, this potentially could be a flex game. And every week has gotten closer. It was like, come on now. Like, you might as well flex it. But unfortunately, they won't. It's a 1 o'clock game. We're still going to enjoy it as if it was a Sunday night football game and everybody was watching regardless. This is going to be a hell of a game. This is going to be one hell of a game. Like you said, it's probably our toughest opponent on the rest of our schedule. And that's why it's so huge. It's a Beltway battle. We don't ever play them. We play them once every 8 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. Something like 7 or 8 years. Last time we played them, 2016. And who won that last matchup, by the way?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir.
2012. Well, no, that was
20. We beat him in 2016. I remember that game. Crowder ran back a punt. Right. Kirk was the quarterback. It was pre-Lamar Jackson era.
It was pre-Lamar, you know, and that's what makes this game so great. We're prepared for Lamar now. I think we are. I think we could put at least on a show that, hey, we're gonna be in Baltimore, but we're gonna put on a show. This Beltway battle is gonna be a great one. I'm looking forward to it. I know everybody else is.
It's at 1 p.m. Yeah, we did play him in 2020 with Dwayne Haskins as well. We lost that one. That was the only time we played Lamar. I remember that game. RIP to the late Dwayne Haskins, by the way. And we kept up with him in that game, but that was a younger version of Lamar. Since then, he's won 2 MVPs. I respect Derrick Henry. I respect John Harbaugh as one of the best coaches in this league. He doesn't always get the respect he should get. I respect him. Don't want to go too in detail about that game yet, but I will say that is the game people got circled next week. I cannot believe we have to sit back and watch Daniel Jones versus Joe Burrow on Sunday Night Football when Lamar Jackson versus Jayden Daniels is happening at 1 p.m. And they gave us their A squad with Tony Romo and Nance on the call. That's the game of the week at 1 p.m. next week. We should be in prime time, but it's cool. We can handle our business at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. But to continue talking about what Washington has done through the first 5 weeks of the season, that running back room is a monster. We didn't even need Brian Robinson to break a sweat yesterday. He just had to come in and pick up a couple goal line touchdowns. Austin Eckler is the most dynamic player in this offense, and Jeremy McNichols is a guy. And that's not to mention the quarterback can go for 70 to 100 any week. Talk to me about that Washington running game, the best running game in the league.
4-headed monster.
Yes,
that's
sir.
what I call him. It's a 4-headed monster. It's not 2 like we thought coming in, and it ain't 3 like we thought after week 2. Okay, then when Austin Eckler went down, that's how we knew. Oh, we got a 4-headed monster back here. These boys are doing it. Man, I'm telling you, I could go one by one. They all have their own skill set, and they all excel in it. And the way that Anthony Lynn deserves so much credit, okay, he is looked at under the radar. Anthony Lynn came in here and scheming up these run games, okay? He's fucking scheming them up, okay? He's our run game coordinator for those who don't know. All right, former head coach for the Chargers.
That's Eckler's guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's his guy. That's Eckler's guy. You got to remember that. Like, people have to understand. Like, yeah, Eckler came off of a bad year. He had a bad ankle, but he's healthy now. Okay, and he came in with something to prove. All right, and we got him for cheap. It was a 2-year, $15 million contract. All right, I'm loving it. I'm loving the value that we're getting out of our running back room. Just with Eckler, B-Rob, McNichols, who could block his ass off.
Oh my, man. He passed blocks like young Portis, bro.
That was my comparison. He reminded me of Portis, the way he's blocking.
Yes,
he lays his body on the line. And it's not just him, it's the entire team. It's like everybody's sacrificing, I should say, for that one common goal. And they're all fighting for it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And the running back room is absolutely speaking volumes to the type of team that we have right now. And once again, big shout out to Anthony Lynn.
Big shout out to Anthony Lynn. Austin Eckler played some of his best football in his career with that guy. And you cannot discount the impact of Jayden Daniels' legs, because even when he does not run, the threat that he could pull it at any time, the Browns, they were keeping their linebackers and their defensive end. They were holding steady. They were waiting for him.
What Garrett do? What did Myles Garrett do, Rio?
Did he play football yesterday?
Bro, he had not one statistic, not one, not a pressure, not a sack, not a tackle,
not a hurry,
not a hurry,
not a
not enough. You because JD had him. He had him on his heels. It was, you could see it if you go back and you watch the game. Because when you go back, and you watch it, you pay attention. Just see how he had to stay home the entire game. He could never crash down because he was always scared that JD was going to pull it every single time. So, like you said, that threat is significant having Jayden Daniels back there, bro. He's different, man. This is the reason why. That's why when we play teams like Pittsburgh, I'm excited to see like how we play against players like JJ Watt.
When you play against
JJ Watt.
Yep, the Watt family, we know they're different over there. All the Watts go to the NFL, but Myles Garrett is your reigning defensive player of the year. This is the first or second best defensive player. Whatever you want to stack him and TJ Watt, you can do it however you'd like to. 0 tackles, 0 pressure, 0 sack. He didn't play football yesterday, and he was out there the whole day. Brandon Coleman and Cornelius Lucas blanked him. Andrew Wiley blanked him. Oh, my God. Shout out to OG Bobby Johnson. Shout out to OG. They said Miles must have went to Rose Bar Saturday night. That's what you doing, Kenny? You entertaining the ops. You getting them drunk.
You know how we do. You know how we do. Hey, I wasn't going to say that, but we're going to go ahead and leave.
Go ahead and entertain them all, bro. Go ahead and tell. But we're in Baltimore this week, so they ain't going to be in town. But man, we really shut out the defensive player of the year. We really held Trey Hendrickson down that time too. So that makes me feel more comfortable playing against that Pittsburgh defense that is headed by TJ Watt, like you said. Yeah, with Jeremy McNichols, seeing him wear 26 like Porter, it all makes sense now. It all comes full circle. But the blocking from the offensive line, it's rubbing off on the wide receivers and the running back. Jeremy McNichols and Luke McCaffrey block like they're a fucking tight end, bro. Luke McCaffrey was trying to block Denzel Ward into the locker room yesterday, bro, opening holes on the outside. Easy Ed put that dog in Luke McCaffrey and Christian McCaffrey, bro. Them boys are getting active. Shout out to Bobby Johnson, because everybody, that was the one hiring. We were all looking at the coaching staff that Dan Quinn hired, and we were like, I don't know about that offensive line hiring. We're a top 5 unit in the league. Tyler Biadasz, Nick Allegretti, Brandon Coleman, Cornelius Lucas, Andrew Wiley, who fans hated all last year. Talk to our offensive line nicely, right?
Man, our O-line is kicking ass and taking names. It's beautiful to see, bro. I haven't felt this good since we had Trent Williams and Brandon Sheriff. It's absolutely amazing. You know, I was so excited. Like, I don't think, I called in to the radio show and I talked to my man Neil on 106.7 The Fan. and him and Chris Russell. And I had to call in when we signed Sam Cosmi that day because that was so underrated before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is how you lock in your cornerstone pieces. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Cosmi was already playing like his hair was on fire. The fact that he got that contract under his belt not only showed that, hey, this organization believes in you and they hadn't even seen you play yet. Okay. I mean, they've seen you play, of course. We got film, but you haven't played for this coaching staff yet. OG Bobby Johnson hasn't even coached yet, but through preseason. But you understand what I'm saying. Point I'm trying to make is that you haven't proven, like most organizations would be like, oh, you got to prove yourself. We need to see you. Play for one season, get a Pro Bowl first. No, sign him while he's under the radar, because at the end of the day, we sign him for a favorable contract, and he's going to play. Man, I'm telling you, bro, that signing alone just spoke volumes, not only for our organization, but just like our offensive line. Just saying, like, you know what, this is your guy. This is our, captain of the O-line per se. You know what I'm saying? He's our leader of the O-line. And it just spoke volumes for the entire dude. Did you see Mic'd Up?
Oh yeah, the Sam Cosmi mic'd up.
Oh, bro,
the most fun I've ever had in my life.
I ever had in my life. Andrew Wiley played for who?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, right? Oh, okay. With Patrick Mahomes.
They're winning Super Bowls, and he had more fun here. You know why he having most fun? Because EB not in the room. To steal the joy. He's like Ebenezer Scrooge, brother, drill sergeant that you hate, coaching all hard, but you ass for real.
Hey, EB had that Bama running with no pads on after practice.
Running gases and shit like they back in 2 days.
Like, motherfucker, we the NFL, man.
Oh, man.
No, but sincerely, man, that was truly telling. Seeing that mic'd up series with Cosmi, that was telling. That's all I needed to see to know the way our offensive line is playing. And, dude, them boys are just having fun. They having fun out there.
They're having a great time. My guy Ryan just brought up the color combo with the burgundy on gold pants. That shit looks amazing on TV. I never want to see the white pants with the burgundy jersey again. How sweet that shit look up close.
It was nice, bro. It was super sweet, man. I mean, to be quite honest, it was super sweet, bro. Like, but you really had me thinking. I don't know. I don't want to go into this conversation. I was about to go into this conversation, but we're gonna skip over that, the Redskin conversation, because it still sticks with me, bro. Like, I'm sorry if Dan Snyder wasn't our owner, would still have the name, but it's okay.
It's all good, man. Call us whatever you want. Right now, you could call us first place in the division. Oh, no. We're not giving nobody rookie of the year so they can stop crying. They're going to have to get over themselves, bro. Now, we want all the accolades. I want rookie of the year. I want MVP candidacy. I want us to be competing for the top seed in the conference. Let them cry. Tell them their tears go perfectly as a side dish with our dinner. They're food now, bro. Nah, we didn't giving them nothing.
Oh, I got the parlay on that too, by the way. I did a preseason.
What'd you do? What you play?
Jayden. So I got a bunch of parlays on Jayden.
Oh, so you hit it when the odds weren't in his favor.
Come on now. Oh man, I did it crazy. It was like plus 4,000 when I did his rookie of the year odds, bro. Like, I'm telling you,
it was a nice little payout.
Come on now. I did a bunch of. I got JD for a few. Got 10 rushing. I got one for 10, one for 8. Rushing touchdowns, he's gonna smash those. Those are easy. I mean, his odds were insane. When I looked at his odds, I said, "Oh yeah, y'all are sleeping on JD." I got a few plays in, and they want me to cash out already, but I'm not.
It's crazy. Like, people are telling us to chill. Like, Jayden Daniels as a rookie, and he hasn't even got really going. He hasn't even been fully unleashed yet. He's giving you 287 total yards of offense a week. 287, bro. Like, he has 1,435 total yards between rushing and passing. Over 300 rushing yards, over 1,100 passing. 8 total touchdowns to 2 interceptions so far this year, and our offense is averaging we averaged 19 points a game last year. We're averaging almost double. We're averaging 31.5 points per game. He's the first rookie ever to lead an offense to 150 points in the first 5 weeks of the season. What was your record prediction in the offseason, and what would you adjust it to now, given new data?
So my record prediction, like I said, coming into the season, Um, if I could go right in between, because it was between 7 wins and 10 wins.
Mhm.
I wanted us to be in that 8 win ballpark. That's where I was looking at. I was like, okay, I could see us in that 8 win ballpark, trying to put it together. I really thought the defense, coming into the season, I was like, oh, our defense is gonna carry us. We got DQ and they're gonna make everybody play back, which they are. They're stepping up to the plate now. But coming to the season, we thought that was gonna be our strength. But coming to the season, we found out that the offense was our strength, and we were like, whoa, like now all three phases are playing on the same accord. Defense, offense. So now I'm looking at it from perspective, like, dude, like we already got 5 wins. 4 wins under us. Sorry, 4 wins under us. I don't see why. I don't see why we can't go for 11 wins. I think we should end the season with 11 wins.
Do you know that there's a drought going? It's the longest drought in the NFL. It's teams that have not won 11 games. Washington is the only team since my birth year in 91 without an 11-win season. Yep, it's a stat that I talk about all the time. We are the only team since 91 that since that season where we went 14-2 and won the Super Bowl, we're the only team that hasn't done it. The Jags have done it. The Browns have done it. The Lions have done it. We've seen the nastiest of nasty NFL franchise win 11 games. Not the Commanders, Redskins, or the football team. And the path is set if Washington wants to end that drought. 7-5 over your last 12. I already laid it out for y'all earlier. If you just got here, you split with the divisional juggernauts, Cowboys and Eagles. That's 1 apiece. That's 2 wins. You sweep the Giants. That's 3. You beat the Titans. That's 4. You beat the Carolina Panthers. That's 5. You split with the NFC South. That's either the Saints or the Falcons. And that's 6. That's 7. That's 7 wins, bro. That gets you to 11-6 for the first time since my birth year. So in my life, and you got us now finishing at what?
What, 11? 11.
You got us finishing, and you got us breaking the drought.
Yeah, breaking the drought. I got us finishing with 11 wins. We're gonna break the drought. I really do. We already got 4, bro. Our schedule is favorable. Like everything is in our favor. It's a new regime. It's new everything. We got to. I keep saying. I talk to myself when I say this. Stop thinking in the past.
I do too.
Like, dude, like stop thinking in the past, man. Like that syndrome, it weighs deep on you, weighs deep on all of us because of what we dealt with our entire fucking life. Okay, so we all get it, but we have to understand that everything in here is new. It is not Dan Snyder new. We hit the reset a lot with Dan Snyder. This is not the same reset. This is a total new reset with a total new regime with guys that know what the fuck they're doing, okay? And they're doing a damn good job at it because obviously you can see it, okay? You can see it in everything. Dude, like even our stadium, you could see where the money went. You know what I'm saying? Like if Dan Snyder said that he was going to spend $75 million on the stadium, you probably wouldn't have seen shit, but the fucking concession stands changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could clearly see like the way and the effort that the ownership is putting into this team, bro. And it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, man, 11 wins.
11. Well, I love it, man. I love it, man. We got both Gruden brothers breaking down the film, and I love the content, man. Say what you want. John and Jay. We got John out of retirement, sweating and shit, watching Jayden Daniels.
I couldn't believe it. I said, yo, John and Jay, breaking JD down. Let's go.
I love it, man. We got everybody glazing us. Everybody wants to get on board. All aboard the Jayden Daniels train. I'm not overlooking the Giants. I'm not overlooking the Panthers. I'm just saying if we take care of business and beat teams we're supposed to be, I'm sorry. I saw what the Giants did in Seattle without Neighbors yesterday. Brian Daboll can coach, but the Giants saw us before we really got going. They saw us when we were just starting to get our momentum. We did walk the ball up and down the field on them all day, but we couldn't punch it in, and we were undisciplined. We were getting all type of penalties and shit. They saw the infant version of the offense. On November 3rd, they're going to see the advanced placement version of this offense. We would have had 2 degrees by the time we see them again. So I'm not sure Daniel Jones is able to keep up with what this offense is going to do next time we see the Giants on the schedule. But so you got us going up to 11-6. That is fucking beautiful. That will certainly win this division this year, right?
Mind you, that's my birthday.
11-6. Hey, shout out to your birthday.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but that's sincere. No, I think that's where we're gonna end up at.
And you think that'll win the NFC East this year?
For sure. I don't see Dallas having a good season. I really don't. That fluke ass win they got last night. I stayed up for that damn rain delay. Got
Oh,
pissed off.
that shit was trash, bro. I had to fight through my watch party for that
Oh,
shit.
I was falling asleep. I was like, man, I'm falling asleep. But I was like, damn, but I need to stay up because I need to see him whoop Dallas ass. No, so Tolbert came through for him. It's all right though. It's all right.
And Dak clutched it, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're making $60 million a year. Him
Good.
and CD just got a big historic bag in as a duo. So I don't want to hear nothing about any of y'all injuries. I don't want to hear any of that because you got a quarterback, you got an elite wide receiver, and you got a defensive playmaker when he's on the field, Micah Parsons, that is a top 4 player in the league. Don't want to hear it, but y'all need to shake back and ice up because y'all going to have to see us 4 days before Thanksgiving. You got them at 11-6. I got us at least 10-7 or 11-6 as well. We are allowed to change our mind when presented with new data, and we have 5 weeks of new data right now saying that this Washington team, with the way it plays offense, if the defense can continue to be opportunistic, force turnovers like Frankie Louvu did in 2 weeks in a row, force turnovers like Benjamin St. Juste did versus the Giants, if they can be good enough, then we have enough to feel like we can beat any team that shows up on the schedule. No, you don't got to go into detail yet, but let me know. You think we beat Baltimore next week?
Honestly, if you ask me this in the beginning of the season, I say hell no.
Yep.
If you ask me this now, why the fuck not? It's no reason. Like they don't scare me. They truly, truly don't. Based on what I've just seen and yesterday against the same team that we beat. Okay, I know it's in their division. You know, you always play in division games are typically closer. But with that being said, still, what they've put on paper, okay, what they've shown us this season thus far, their work, okay, I still believe that we can beat Baltimore.
I think we could beat Baltimore too. I'm going to save my prediction for a little bit later this week. Based on the rest of the division right now, which team do you feel? I know the Eagles have on paper an easier schedule, much easier than Dallas. Which team scares you more for the top of the division?
If it wasn't for Dallas's schedule, I would say Dallas when they're healthy. Unfortunately. The Eagles are just they're dysfunctional, bro. Like
they're the new us.
So dysfunctional, man. All right, so let me give you an example of why I feel like there's dysfunction, right? When they won that game and Nick had everybody rallied around him, right? Okay, it was 2 weeks ago. I forgot who they beat.
The Saints.
Exactly. When they beat the Saints, okay? And he was giving out the game ball. He was like, yeah, man, like, you know, this is what we're supposed to do. And I seen players at their locker, turning their locker and shit. You had another person fucking with their shoes. Another player just not paying attention. Nobody okay. Then when I seen Sean McVay, you know, when I see Dan Quinn, when I see all these other head coaches, okay, that know how to rally a team together, and you can see the synergy. That's the one thing I can say we have in the NFC East that no other team has. Okay. Mm-hmm. We have an actual team. We have a unit. We fight for each other. We have men that are like gladiators that go to war for each other. None of these teams in the NFC East have that. Nobody could carry that and say, you know what? No, all these fucking teams, especially Eagles, have total dysfunction. Like I said, when I seen Nick and I saw him in that when I seen him post game and I see him talking to the team and trying to rally his team together at the game and giving out the game ball, it was like, I was like, wow, that's a team. All right. You could sense it. There's dysfunction. It's just what it is. They're the new us.
The new us. And it's funny because I understand A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are out. That's one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league. But I also remember in August when a trade happened. I remember when a trade happened in August and we were told Shout out to Lord Brunson, by the way. Ski Mask Howie. Howie Roseman fleeced the Commanders. He stole a star wide receiver from the Commanders. We have the best three-headed receiver room in the league, I was told, because A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson was going to wreck the league. And then I see through the first 4 weeks of this season, Jahan Dotson has 4 catches for 50 yards. He hasn't been injured. He's been out there doing a lot of cardio. Even with the number 1 and the number 2 out, they're throwing the ball to Calcaterra, Britton Covey and Johnny Wilson more than Jahan Dotson. You'd say we won that trade, right?
Oh, big 3rd round pick.
That's free money.
Serious? Like free money. No one would have gave him that. Like the fact that honestly, like no one. We traded him at the right time. His value was where it was. AP, great fucking job. Okay, I give it to him. We won that trade, no question.
I love it, man. We got a GM that can do that shit as well. It ain't just Howie Roseman. We got one of the. We got that thing on us too, man.
For sure. And I want to add to it, okay? And this is why I say I know a lot of us fans were upset about Curtis Samuels walking. Okay. Curtis Samuels and Jahan Dotson have a combined 15 catches for 73 yards this season.
15 catches for 7. What are they catching? A bunch of screen passes? Like, what is going on, man?
With Curtis Samuels, they must be catching a bunch of screens. They must be, as they would say in the Cliff Kingsbury offense. But we actually gain yardage on that screen plays.
I love it, man. We actually do it. And shout out to Cliff Kingsbury. The redemption arc is looking well. When you put the guy in a position to just call offense and vibe with a quarterback, that's a dangerous man right there, man.
Hey, listen, man, I absolutely love the way they're working together. Like, it's a match made in heaven. JD is made for Cliff, and Cliff is made for JD. Okay? I truly, truly believe that. You seen what Frankie said. JD's in there at 4 a.m., bro. He said him and Bobby are walking in there at 6. JD already lifted, did his VR film study, okay? And he said he already ate breakfast, and he's ready to get on the field when they're just walking into the damn stadium. When they're walking into the building, okay? Man, JD's different, bro. And Cliff, a big shout out to him. I absolutely, absolutely love what he's doing with our team.
Jayden and him are just a much better personality fit. They both have that Cali Cool Breeze personality where Kyler Murray is a very peculiar personality. He's very different, That's Twitch streamer Kyler Murray you're talking about. Hey, he went off yesterday versus the 49ers, by the way. None of that shit when Cliff went down to Arizona and took over their trap.
115 yards.
Yeah, okay. Easy money, man. Easy money.
Someone against us, he had 115 yards.
42 to 14 when we went to Arizona. Cliff got his revenge on him. But Jayden and Cliff, they're just a personality fit. It all makes sense. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're finding whatever works versus whatever defense is in front of us. But we're getting effectiveness from the passing and the running game, despite the fact that people look at our receiving room and say that's the worst receiving room in the league. Cliff Kingsbury, we cannot talk about how great he's doing here, and we need to stop talking about him leaving. We don't need to worry about that right now. He's still cashing Cardinals head coaching check. We don't need to worry about him getting whisked away to be a head coach right now. Just enjoy it while it's here. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and I need him preparing guys like Tavita Pritchard and Brian Johnson to take over if that ever was the case. I think the way that we move as a franchise now, they have to have a succession plan in place if we were to lose that, because this is no longer the Daniel Snyder, Bruce Allen, Ron Rivera, Washington of the past. We move with vision, we move with foresight. But to close this one out, your one sentence takeaway from the first 5 weeks of the season on this 4th Victory Monday.
Glorious.
Glorious, man. Glorious, glorious, glorious. Let's bring back the glory days from the past. Let folks know where they can find you on your way out, my guy.
Man, you can find me at Kenny G DMV. You can find me on every handle, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram is my main platform that I use. Anything that's associated with what I do, whether it be nightlife, life insurance sales. I have a roofing company as well. So if you have a roof, you can reach out to me if you need a free inspection. But with that being said, man, you can find me anywhere. I'm a huge, as you can see, Commander Redskin fan, man. I'm lifelong fan, man, and I'm just happy for you to bring me on, Rio, onto your platform. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna definitely chop it up again. You said gold lot D for the tailgate.
Gold lot D for the tailgate. Come check us, man. You won't miss us. We have a wrap Sprinter van. Okay, it's my uncle's uncle, Commander Mike. Okay, we got a wrap Commander Sprinter van. You can't miss it. We're right at the top of the hill, right before you coming up on Sean Taylor Road.
Hell yeah. Y'all heard the guy. Y'all know who it is. Rio_Robinson 91 on all socials. Make sure. They said, where's your saxophone? Because Kenny G. Exactly. This is the DMV Kenny G right here. Kenny G, but with some sauce on it. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out. It is Victory Monday for the 4th week in a row. Each Victory Monday, I'm coming on at 2 p.m. and I'm bringing friends with me so we can bask in the ambience of another Washington Commanders victory. Hail to the squad. Left hands up. We the Commanders. All that shit. Until next time, Commander Rio, Commander Kenny, we out.
We out, baby.